Well, South Africa is in trouble. Oh, okay, let me say, at least for now, South Africa is not in trouble. The ANC is in trouble. The ANC is in trouble because they messed up. And now, the US President Donald Trump called them to come and account. He called the number one citizen, President Cyril Ramaphosa, is in Washington, D.C., at the White House there. And probably they might be having their conversation. It's either today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. But my biggest wish is that at least it must be publicized so that we can see what is happening there, because the man hasn't actually really kind of accounted, for everything that he has done. The CR17 bank statements are still sealed and all of those things, the Pala issue. Well, you can fool us, Mr. President, and do whatever you want to do. But to Donald Trump, it's another story, because that is not the kind of a guy that you can take advantage of. And by the way, if you continue with the posture, the attitude that you are giving us there in Washington, then they will discipline you. They will deal with you. At least someone in this continent can deal with our president, because he's gotten away with so many things. And people are saying that the eagle has landed. No. The eagle has been waiting for him there. He's not an eagle. They are waiting for him to go and account. And by the way, if you have been wondering who else was in a plane, who else traveled to the US, we've got John Steenhuisen also. He's in the US. We've got also, who else? Rob Hessoff is there.
View where he is in the world. We've had some interesting conversations from interesting places today. Another interesting place, of course, all the actions going on in the United States. So where would Rob be? You got to be there somewhere, Rob. Where in the US?
Hi, Alec. Yeah, it's what time is it? 4 a.m. in Miami.
Miami. Is that near where Donald Trump's got his Mar-a-Lago?
Yes, it is.
Are you visiting?
I flew Cape Town to Washington, D.C. yesterday, and quite a few interesting people on the plane. In fact, John Steenhuisen was on the flight. Went over and said hi, shook his hand. Didn't really get a chance to chat, because wasn't really an appropriate place to have a chat. But we landed in Dallas, and then he stayed in Washington for obvious reasons. He's part of the Cyril show. And I came down to Miami, but I'm going to Washington on Thursday.
What was his demeanor like, Mr. Steenhuisen?
A well-known businessman, Rob Hessoff, is there in Washington, D.C. He landed yesterday, probably in Miami, and he is actually not far from where the discussions will be taking place. Here's my view. There's going to be Donald Trump, there's going to be Elon Musk, there's going to be other business people who are having an interest. The reason why good people that white people are fighting for this country, reporting to America and all of that. We have seen AfriForum, we have seen Solidarity. It is because they love this country. White people love this country. I think they love this country more than us, black people. I've come to realize that because they have assets, they've invested in this country, they've worked this country, and the ANC came and started to destroy this country. The ANC came and started to lie to people. They started to steal, to perpetuate corruption, and there's no accountability. We've seen the Jacob Zumas coming here and looting. We've seen also Cyril Ramaphosa still continuing to do the same, sending our soldiers to the DRC to die there and all of that. So I'm wondering, why is the ANC starting to put pressure on transformation now? But yet for the past 30 years, they have been in power and they never even bothered to lift their finger. Let us not be misled, South Africans, because I am of the view that the ANC can see that they are actually dying a natural death. They are going to fall on their sword. By the way, my prediction is that the ANC will get less than 30% on the next coming general elections, because they've got nothing to campaign about. There's nothing to say. They've lied to people. They've cheated to people. They've stolen a lot of money. So there's no more lies. These people are just, the last kick of the dying horse. This is what we can see with the ANC. And for him, Cyril Ramaphosa to be summoned by Donald Trump. Donald Trump is well aware what is happening in our country. And at the same time, we cannot deny the fact that there's farm attacks. And Afrikaners are the ones who are the victims. And also the land expropriation bill. I had these issues with this bill, that how are they going to roll it out, and who's going to benefit, and what is going to happen to the people that their land are going to be dispossessed. It's we can't be doing the cat and mouse chase kind of leadership or governance. We need to focus on real issues that are going to constructively build our country. But the people like Cyril Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma and Julius Malema are the ones who are causing chaos, in a sense that they have misled people, confused people. The voters now are divided. Some of us are saying we don't want to be part of that, and some of the people are saying, we must go forward, Amanda, comrade, we must fight. But we don't know yet the repercussions of those kind of remarks, because if we continue to be antagonists, we might find ourselves in an unled revolutionary kind of situation whereby we will not be able to manage it. So in my own view, Cyril Ramaphosa is in a serious trouble. By the way, also John Steenhuisen is there. The GNU, I think Donald Trump wants to speak to them to say, how are you guys running the country? Why you guys are failing to actually work together and all of that. It is a concern. And by the way, I don't feel pity for the ANC, because they brought this unto themselves. Let me remind you, the ANC took over here in 1994. Everything was working, the infrastructure. You talk about Dinel, you talk about Eskom, you talk about Transnet, you talk about South African Airways. Jacob Zuma came and collapsed those things. And even Thabo Mbekis, when they started this privatization issue and started drafting the racially targeting policies which are actually empowering the middle class and keeps the poor poorer, because it continues to elevate people who are politically connected, the triple BE policies and all of those things. Those are the issues that we really need to sit down and reconsider them. And by the way, all these policies are not really benefiting every black person in this country. It's benefiting certain people, the Guatemalta's sons and all of those people. That is why we see Lonzi challenging the appointment of the CETA, the Sector for Education and Training Authority, because they put Guatemalta's son there as a member of, the board member. And at the same time, there's conflicts of interest, because his father is directly the Minister of Minerals and Energy Resources whatsoever. So we don't want those kind of things to happen in our country. And as much as we are vulnerable, we are citizens who are being taken for granted. Cyril Ramaphosa has undermined a lot of us as citizens, and now he's going to meet his match now. He's going to answer to all the questions. And by the way, the ANC is tearing itself apart. It's falling apart. There's nothing that is left there. And there's also a rumor that Patrice Motsepe will be taking over from Cyril Ramaphosa. Let me tell you what Cyril Ramaphosa did. Cyril Ramaphosa and Jeff Radebe, they married from the same family, from the Motsepe family. So they are brothers-in-law to Patrice Motsepe. So you hijack the government from the RET forces, the Jacob Zumas. That is why the MKP was formed. It was formed out of bitterness that Cyril Ramaphosa pushed them out. The Brian Molifes and all of those people who are crooks, all crooks, they are there out there in the cold. By the way, I don't feel pity for them also. And then now, after taking over the government, you appoint your brother-in-law to KZN there to control that, because he didn't trust people who were there, because he felt, Cyril Ramaphosa felt like they were the Zuma allies, staunch supporters of Zuma, and kind of they have a potential to betray him. Okay, fine. And now it emerges that your brother-in-law will or might potentially be taking over from you. It doesn't make sense to me. You are the same you are the same as those people, the Jacob Zumas. Remember Jacob Zuma, when he realized that he is getting out of power, he took Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, his ex-wife, and put him there. They put her there so that they can bet with her. And then after she lost, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma took it personal, and she said she is retiring and whatsoever. That's just out of frustration. They again, okay, the CR17 bank statements are still sealed. By the way, Donald Trump might be having them and say, should I leak this, or you are going to comply to? He is going to be given an ultimatum. So to continue shortly, after betting with Nkosazana, they realized that, we have lost now. Who else can we put forward as our trusted comrade? Because they wanted to take Cyril out. By the way, they failed because they brought Zweli Mkhize, the digital vibes scandal man who was at the center of everything. 150 million of taxpayers' money disappeared. And I don't know if these people still think we can actually vote for crooks. We don't vote for crooks. We look at the better monster. And by the way, I don't know people who voted for ANC what was going through their minds, but unfortunately everybody has got a right to vote for their political party of their choice. But to those who voted for ANC, I think you have learned a lesson. And those who are going to vote for the ANC in 2029, there's something that is wrong. There's something that is horribly wrong that needs to be assessed. So we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just wondering, why is Cyril Ramaphosa trying to forcibly, in a short space of time, transform this country? You know, when you are a student and you don't read, you don't prepare for exam, you don't study, you do nothing, you don't research, and all of a sudden you are a week ahead of writing exams and you want to catch up. You know how dumb you look. You know you're gonna look dumb because you will never manage. So that's Cyril Ramaphosa. He has been in prison for 7 years, right? So now he wants to push and he wants to force policies and change this and change that. It's not gonna work for him. It's just unfortunate because he brought that unto himself, and he must deal with that. That's the medicine that they prepared, you know, for the people. Now it's time for them to also, it's their turn, by the way, to taste the same medicine of poverty, because we cannot allow our leaders to mislead us and to continue to humiliate us to other countries. And South Africa is a beautiful country. That's why white people are so passionate. White people still have got hopes. But the likes of Rob Hessoff, the likes of John Steenhuisen and others are going to give Cyril Ramaphosa some hard time, because they are going to challenge him in front of Donald Trump. They are going to embarrass him. They are going to reveal so many secrets. And if he still denies that Afrikaners are being attacked in the farms, he better watch many videos on YouTube. You can see that there's victims who are coming forward. As much as there's crime in our country, yes, we agree. But how are they going to, or how are they planning to resolve this issue? So his presidency is hanging in balance. Ramaphosa has been the weakest president we have ever had, and he's about to you know, he's not going to finish this term, by the way. He's not going to finish his term unless if he changes his posture and his approach and everything, because you cannot implement so many bills at the same time and you want to push. And now, after the 49 Afrikaners who left the country for the US as refugees there, he still continues to, you know, to be undiplomatic. I don't know what is, for a lack of a better word. So, as a president, you should be uniting people. But if you sow divisions amongst people of your country, irrespective of color, then there is a serious problem, because he is the one who's supposed to answer there to Donald Trump in Washington, D.C., that what exactly is happening in your country? Take me into confidence. What exactly are you going to fix? Or what is it that you think you should change so that the country becomes now functional? Because at this stage, we are on autopilot. We have got a dysfunctional country, and we don't know whether we are going or we are coming. As citizens, we are confused. Why? Because of these politicians that are taking us for granted, and now he has met his match. I'm saying good luck to him and his lies and whatever that he's going to say there. I wish that can be publicized, just like the Ukrainian president and Donald Trump, Zelensky was on a public meeting and he had to, that's what I want to see with our president, because they don't account to anyone. They don't believe they account to anyone. So at least let them have a public engagement where it will be broadcasted. So as citizens, we can see what is going on there. We want to see ourselves. We don't want to hear from the hearsay, somebody saying that and what. Here is Donald Trump now. He called our president to the White House to account. So it means he has to have a better explanation, and he can't lie to him. He can't brag, just like what he does to us, brag and do all those kind of funny things. And now it's time, this is time that the ANC must realize that it is over. There's no more turning back. There's no point of return. It's over with the ANC, and it's a bye-bye. It's a bye-bye. It's time. Thank you, squatters, for watching my content. Let's continue to engage. We are worried. We are nervous. We've got anxiety. We don't know what's going to happen, but it's a wait and see. Let's hope. Let's hope the man will be able to maneuver around this. He will never break free, scot-free from Donald Trump. Never.